the globe who have joined right now. We are Team Heritage, like Bosky mentioned, we are the industry track, and we've matched with Somos, which is a startup for language learning platform, and it is founded by Cover. So we've worked with Cover for last 10 weeks. Our team is a very diverse team coming from different cultural areas, different geographies, and bringing in different experiences. Our team, Megan, Allison, myself, Mo, Valeen, have worked together under the mentorship of Rakshit, and Gokul has helped us a lot to develop our app to and fro with most of the changes that we've been asking him to do. So great work along with the team. Have you ever tried learning a new language? And if yes, most of the times the challenges that you face is whom do we converse with and practice it. Once you're out with the learnings from your textbooks, how do you improve the fluency in the language? And that's where Team Heritage comes into. We help the fellow learners to receive the feedback and converse with each other. Now, as and when people and societies have started connecting due to globalization, the pandemic has moved all these connections online, and the learning platform also have moved online along with it. So language learning platform market with these changes have projected to be increasing to $25.73 billion by 2027. Of all those who are trying to learn a new language, 12% of them are already using online platforms to learn it. So there's a huge potential of growth in this area that we have seen. Now, once you try to learn this language online via a course, language learners find it challenging to engage in the consistent on-screen real-time verbal conversations between the learners and speakers to improve their fluency. That's where our problem statement is, and we have dived in the last 10 weeks.
So we dove into our user research through both surveys and through user interviews, and the learners we spoke with said that limited or no face-to-face interaction is the biggest challenge when learning online. The learners also said AI language learning smartphone apps are convenient for the basics, but don't help with real-world conversations. They also said they value having interactive conversations with other learners or native speakers. And we use this information to develop our user persona, who is Chris. He's a digital nomad. He's 30 years old with a bachelor's degree. He travels abroad for work frequently. He has friends all over the world, and he's looking to speak a language on an intermediate to advanced level. He wants to become fluent in the language to communicate with both friends and colleagues and connect with locals and become part of a language learning community. Some of Chris's key pain points include that he wants to be taken seriously. He feels language barriers are frustrating. Chris wishes he had a practice partner, and he wants to feel like he belongs.
So our solution is Heritage, which offers virtual face-to-face video conversations initiated with prompts. And then afterward, learners receive feedback from teachers to improve their grammar and pronunciation. So this occurs after their 4-week course is over. I'm going to jump into the demo. So Chris is looking to practice, right? He's had his course. What's next? He wants to continue to talk with other learners. So here he can actually sort, and he is learning Spanish. So he's going to see the other Spanish learners that are available to chat with. So he can go ahead and set up a conversation, right? Talk to them. And we encourage him to have a conversation over Zoom, Teams, or Google Meets. Then, in order to get the conversation flowing and have specific things to talk about, we offer prompts. So because Chris is learning for work, he sees, okay, there are some work-related prompts and also some general prompts. So that way the conversation continues. And so if he wants to get feedback, he's going to have to record that session. So with the recording, he's able to upload it here in the platform, and then a teacher is going to see that recording, listen back, and provide feedback. So the feedback will be available here. And so Chris can see he's got some feedback. And oh, it opened on my other screen. 1 second. I'll show you that feedback quickly because the file opened up. So he's going to see, okay, he's got good pronunciation in general, but these are the things that he needs to work on. So regarding the competitive landscape, there are quite a few offerings in the marketplace. It's a very fragmented space. So there are some main ones like Italki, Cambly, and Verbling. They all offer very similar things like one-on-one sessions, either with teachers, groups, peer-to-peer sessions, one-on-one or peer-to-peer groups. Some even offer on-demand videos. But we want to set Somos apart by offering feedback on those peer-to-peer sessions.
So the competitive advantage for Heritage is that we're focused on language learners having consistent face-to-face conversations and language practice with other learners and also receiving feedback. Secondly, we want learners to not have to decide between choosing an expensive private tutor or talking to a peer. And there's also an additional way for teachers to upsell their services. So for the key outcomes that we're looking to measure the MVP, currently we have just 2 users who signed up to Heritage because we had a lot of challenges working and developing the product. And we're looking to measure our success based on the number of users who participated in a peer-to-peer call weekly. And we have 2 users at the moment. We're also looking to track the number of users who upload their recordings for feedback, and also looking at the customer delight score. For the feedbacks that we've received from the users, they stated that the feedback was pretty formal. And the feedback we received from the teacher was that 7 minutes is not enough to actually give concrete feedback to a learner. And so we're looking to improve or introduce more solutions in the terms of the time that learners need to engage in their face-to-face conversation. For our product roadmap, we've released the MVP, which allows Chris to go online and connect with other language learners and have a face-to-face conversation. In the next phase, we're looking at gamifying the conversation prompt so that there is more fun experience and engagement for the users on the platform. We're also looking at integrating this solution with Heartbeat. Heartbeat is currently the platform that Somos uses to connect language learners with language teachers. Currently, Heritage provides feedback in 3 languages, which is French, Spanish, and English. We're looking to introduce additional languages in the next phase. And we're also looking to improve the UI of our product. For the later phase, we're looking at recommendations being provided in a natural language processing. And because what we have currently is just the file that is given in a more grammatical manner, but we need to have that audio or recommendations by the teacher so that Chris can actually improve on the speaking skills that he's looking to achieve at the end of the day. Building a product in 10 weeks with a global cross-functional team is not a small task. We work together with our stakeholders, which is our founder, Bosky, our developer, and everyone on the team. We've learned a lot throughout this 10 weeks accelerator program. And some of the key learnings that we had was that loving the problem space would enable you to build the right product. Throughout the 10 weeks program, we realized that every single time, we're always reminded to focus on the problem space. Do not rush into thinking of the features or the ideas. The actual solution lies in the problem space. Now, the winning decision is not just any decision based on your opinion. It is a decision that is based on data. So we had similar situations where everyone on the team had different opinions, and it wasn't about us at that point. We had to go back to our data, our user interview, our user testing. What does the data say? And that helped us to actually choose a decision that was not just based on our opinions, but based on the data that we had. And of course, you have to be scrappy. And we learned this not just any other way, but building out Heritage. We realized that there were certain pain points that the users were interested in having, but they couldn't immediately be solved technologically. And we had to find a way around it. So receiving feedback is something that we wanted to automate, like have it live, but we couldn't do that. So what are we doing? We're using a manual approach to provide that same feedback or to solve that same pain point that the users are looking out for and improve in future iterations. Effective communication addresses misalignment. Working with stakeholders means that you need to gain stakeholder buy-in. And even as a team, you need to work together collaboratively. There are certain times where you don't even agree as a team and you're working to solve the problem of a user. How do you do that? You need to communicate. I remember one time when our mentor was like, I don't think this is solving this problem. It's too simple. He said it and it's like, I'm sorry to say this, but this is this is what I think. And we started to realize that we were not communicating well. So we started to over communicate and actually state what we were trying to say. That helped us to gain alignment and buy-in from our mentor. And this is where we are today, Heritage, helping language learners to practice and learn and improve on their skills so that Chris can travel to Europe, the United States of America, and meet with friends, family, and have an excellent integration into the culture of that community or country where he finds himself. This brings us to the end of our presentation, and I'm so grateful for Bosky, the team, everyone that has put in so much work into this program. It wasn't easy. We had life challenges, but here we are today with something that we can say that we're proud of and hoping to improve as we progress. Thank you, and we're hoping to answer your questions and feedback if you have any.
I know this was a challenging space and challenging problem, and so great job with your persistence. And sometimes, again, that's the role of PMs many times in the organization, is to provide the clarity. And just like Owen, like you were saying, is being able to communicate that. Now that's the other part. So that's extremely important skill. So you can't really quantify how valuable that is, but you were able to accomplish that. So great job.
Great job presenting. It's been, I know the learning's amazing. If you take away anything from this session of 10 weeks is fall in love with your problem space. I completely, wholeheartedly agree with it. It's very easy to think solutions. So my suggestion is to tape your learnings, like take a printout and just like keep it near your desk. It's going to come in handy every single time. As humans, we always tend to end up loving the solution, not the problem. So it's just a reminder that every time you fall into the trap, go back to the basics, and it'll serve you right. So